Good afternoon, everyone. Hi there, Kirsten Neese with Cornerstone Homes. I'm the Director of Marketing, and with me today I've got Greg Cowart with NFM Lending. We're here with our Facebook Live series, and we're actually live at 2 o'clock from the Winchester model at the Cove at Magnolia Lakes down in Chester, Virginia. Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into mortgage lending and, kind of what you're doing.
Yeah, happy to. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Really honored to be here. No one grows up and wants to be a mortgage person. So most of us tend to find our way into this as our second career. I'm a JMU grad, originally from Charleston, South Carolina, and came to mortgage really through education first. I was a teacher and I was a school counselor.
Okay.
And always liked real estate, owned investment property, and really wanted to make a change, and just felt like this really fit with my communication style and with my ability to listen. And so it's been a great career. I've been doing this now for 18 years.
That's awesome. Well, it's so great to hear that you're a teacher, and that doesn't surprise me knowing you the way I do, and hearing you say that you are a great listener and you do a great service for our customers at Cornerstone. Do you want to? Greg is one of our preferred lenders, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your relationship with us at Cornerstone. Sure. And how you support our sales team.
Happy to. Mortgage folks tend to specialize in certain areas. Someone may specialize in a certain type of loan. Someone may specialize in doing refinances. I've always mostly helped people buy homes, what we call purchases. Mm-hmm. And then I've always had a bit of a new construction specialty too. I think I started off with some of the big home builders in their mortgage side, and I've just stayed with it. And new construction has a different language. Mm-hmm. You have to know a lot more about the construction cycle and phases, and new construction is also a much longer time. So I've always enjoyed doing new construction loans.
Right. And
just through working in the Richmond community, I've gotten to know some of the folks at Cornerstone, and when there was an opportunity, they invited me to come in.
Awesome. Yeah, it's definitely super helpful to have our preferred lenders on our deals, because you understand the buying cycle, you understand the time frame, yeah. And particularly with our age demographic, it makes the customer so much more at ease to know, yes, that you understand what's going on, even if they don't particularly understand the timing of everything, because it can get hectic towards the end. So it's great to have
it's really a specialty area. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why builders partner with local lenders. One, there are a lot of people working nationally out of call centers, and the further you get from the customer and from the builder, the less accountable you are.
Right.
Additionally, the being able to meet with someone face to face, know the product, know the models like we're able to do, and Cornerstone's put together just a great team of 3 different local lenders who all do good work. So, really regardless of who your customers choose, they get a choice. Working with a preferred partner, you've got a local, accountable, accurate expert to help you.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what you see. You said you work with a bunch of different builders. What you see with Cornerstone that you maybe don't see with some of the other builders you work with, or what's different about
this?
Yeah,
I think that I would say size and focus stand out for me as being the two, if I had to say, that come to mind. A lot of builders tend to build 300, 400 homes. They're huge machines with large staff, and I think the customers feel that. Mm-hmm. I know I feel it when I work with those builders. And then you've got your custom home builders that build 10 homes a year. I think Cornerstone really sits in a really nice spot, that it's owned locally. It's small enough to build enough homes for the neighborhoods they serve, but yet not be a machine that's inflexible and doesn't care.
Right.
Additionally, I don't know myself of another builder in the area that specializes and focuses so much on a certain clientele, such as the over 55, oftentimes low maintenance communities, as Cornerstone does. So I just feel like you guys are a great size and really zeroed in on the clients you serve.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we tend to think that we are experts at what we do as well, and really know our market, and so we're glad that you see that in our operations. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing now with COVID. You talked about meeting face to face. with your customers. How
Yeah.
has the situation that's going on now kind of changed how you do business or what you're doing? Or, what's going on?
Yeah, great question. We're really close to being able to do the entire transaction electronically. The only missing piece, the Cornerstone sales reps are selling using video, which you can get a lot done. It's so much better than phone because you can really get a feel for nonverbals.
Right.
The only part of the process that still can't go truly electronic is your non-cash buyers who borrow money. The mortgage companies still require hand-signed documents.
Okay.
I think that'll change in the next year, and I think this will help it to change. But for the most part, from start to finish, most of this can be done electronically. On my team, and I work with there are 5 of us. I'm the 6th, so there's 6 people. We all work together with me, the Cowart team, and we help our clients. We're doing a lot of Zoom.
Okay.
Zoom has been great. We were doing it before, but now we're doing it really frequently. And in the mortgage business, I would say, although it's been a little, the ground has shifted a bit under people's feet. Here today, like we're talking, I guess it's April 21st?
Right.
I think things have started to settle. And I would tell you more than probably the clients know, it's business as usual for mortgage.
Great. That's awesome to know. Yeah. And we've seen that too with our website statistics and different things. Things have started to level off. There's no more plunging and they're even creeping back up.
Yeah.
And we're seeing, the phones are opening up and people are signing up online. So, we are seeing some of that as well. Tell me a little bit about coordinating the selling and the buying, like the parts of the transaction at the end of the situation. Like, what do you do, and how that your specialty and what you're doing helps with our buyers?
I think when it's nice to be able to talk about my background, I really view myself as a guide through this process, and I think that matches with new construction as well, because really what the customers want, it's really easy to do 3.5 on a 30-year fixed and your payment's this.
Right.
You can do that after 2 months of training. But I think really what you learn over time is how to ask the right questions up front, and then to say, Kirsten, is this what you want? And to say, all right, well, there's 4 ways we can walk. Let's talk about the pros and cons of each of them and which is best for you. Right. And really to try to educate the customer about how they get out of the home they're in, which sometimes they've lived in for 30 years, and it's their biggest savings account. There's a lot of money there.
Yeah.
And then to try to transition and time the purchase of a Cornerstone home, and to really talk that through.
Okay.
And then to talk through the fears that may come with, well, what if this happens? And what if this happens? And I think for the clients, for all of you out there watching, you're not the first to do this.
Right.
We have walked hundreds of people through this process, and even when things happen that maybe aren't scripted or aren't exactly what we want, there's still many options out there too. So very consultative, I think, for the over 55 buyer moving and selling a home. I enjoy that. That's why one of the reasons I want to work with you guys and like your clients is because I love the hand holding. And I had a client recently move into a over 55 community, and he said to me, I hadn't thought of this till now. Hey, Greg, everything that I was worried about, none of it happened.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of fear and anxiety, and especially now, and it's just so great to have somebody like yourself that's just calming, a nice calming presence, and just really an expert in your field and able to comfort and assure and keep everybody kind of on an even keel.
And I'd like to say that one of the reasons that nothing happened was because we talked about it as a team, and we made the right steps at the right times to be sure that things went predictably. And so I think that's where that guide mentality and the path is what your preferred lenders, whether it's mortgage or the movers or the stagers, by really getting good data up front, having conversations, this does not have to be that hard. Right.
Well, that's great. That's awesome to know. So what are you seeing as the biggest obstacles in today's environment?
Well, some of this, I feel like COVID is an opportunity, candidly. And I know a lot of home buyers, whether it's new construction or not, feel that way. We're busy. we track every person that calls in, and although new calls have fallen off slightly, the number of people going under contract hasn't changed at all.
Oh, wow. That's
In
great
fact,
to know.
I don't do a lot of refinances just from helping people buy homes. We're having this month, next month, these will be record months for us. So I think probably the biggest challenge is just letting people know that the finance world of mortgage is business as usual.
Right.
And I would say for the home builder too, you guys are operating 9 months out.
Right.
This doesn't really change what we're doing today. And the people who are going to buy your homes oftentimes by the time they close, this won't be completely resolved, but it won't look like it looks today.
That's right.
So I think, the biggest obstacle is not finance. It's not you guys not building the homes. It's just the customer understanding that people are moving forward and we're all still doing business. It may be a Zoom versus a face-to-face,
Right.
but it works great.
Yeah, and that's great. We've had a record month too. March and April setting up to be really strong for us as well. So it's been an interesting time to be working in this industry.
Well, and to that, you guys know who you're building to. You've got a great product, and it's a large demographic that really needs these homes that are more conducive to the next 10, 20 years of their lives.
Right.
So it doesn't surprise me at all that with the need for these types of homes that you guys are going gangbusters.
Yeah. Well, and now more than ever, people are in their homes, right? And then the dishwasher breaks or the roof, the gutters need to be cleaned or whatever. And they're like, oh, I should have moved. I should have been in that no maintenance at home.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for our 55 plus buyer? And what can they know to kind of get moving on this path if they're not already on their buying journey, or they're somewhere in that decision-making process to decide to move forward or not? Like what financially, what do they need to be thinking about right now?
Well, I think the hardest part of this is the first step. And the fact that if they call your trained sales reps, that they've got to make a decision now. Or that it starts something in motion that's going to be scary. And I just want to reassure your clients that the hardest part's just starting to contact and just being very open about what your concerns are. And if your concerns are more on my side regarding financing, give me a call. What I can do is tell you how the numbers play.
Right.
I can't make the numbers work. They either fit what you want or they don't. I can give you options. And the same for these homes. I mean, if your client walks in and these homes, you got multiple models, if this isn't a great fit, that's fine. But I think the biggest challenge is just picking up the phone.
Right.
After being in your environment for so long, it's kind of scary to get started. So just give us a call and just start a conversation.
And that's something that very often happens in our sales offices when the customers were coming in and meeting and they'd have these these interactions. Then they'd say, you know what, you really need to talk to our lenders and sort of see what your budget is going to be and what you really can afford and what makes sense. And so, just because you maybe aren't coming into the sales offices, it doesn't mean that you can't have those financial conversations, right? I mean,
and some of the sales reps can help with some of that to a certain extent. But if it's a question they don't know, all 3 lenders on the list are all very available weekends, afternoons. So the sales assistants with Cornerstone can pass you on to any of us who can help. Right. And there's no charge, and there's no obligation. This is what we do. We talk about home buying. So please do call. Right.
So Caroline, do we have any questions coming in?
No questions yet. Joe Dunn says, great job, Greg.
Hi, Joe.
Yeah. Trying to think of anything else we talked about. Anything, Caroline, that you can think of, or Kirsten, that we missed?
No, I think we're good. I think another thing that does come to mind, I guess, that people talk about is is this the same as 2006, 2008? And I think most people will tell you it's not. And it really, if you want to speak to that and kind of what the government's done to kind of step in and help, and this is a pandemic, it's not a financial collapse.
Correct.
Of the housing industry.
I'll give my 2 cents. I've been doing this for 18 years. I love economics. A couple of facts. Our government has moved so quickly, and this is, everyone would agree in the financial world. I mean, really strong moves, very fast. And for the home buyers, everything we've done, or our country has done, should keep interest rates very low for the foreseeable future.
Right.
It will be a good time to borrow money for, I would say, at least the next 12 to 24 months, just because of all of the easing of money with all this going on. Secondly, we did have a scary week there. That was about 3-4 weeks ago, but our government is buying a crazy number, sometimes as many as $40 billion in mortgages a day.
Wow.
And they pledged to do that to keep the rates low and to keep demand strong through this time. The final thing we're looking at is the forbearance, because that's a little scary for mortgage companies, and how many people will look for forbearance. And just this week, we're starting to get a better feel on what percentage that's going to be. And additionally, the government, even as recently as today, is starting to talk about how they're going to assist mortgage companies related to forbearance. So, you know, with some of the crests starting to pass and some of this settling in, we've seen a lot of actions that feel stable in mortgage, and I think will make it a good time to buy for the foreseeable months.
Oh, good. Yeah, and it's a great time to sell your house. The rates or the house values are historical highs, and
No
the
doubt.
interest rates are low. So
No doubt. And demand's strong on the weekends. We get a lot of calls from people buying homes, and we're still seeing multiple offers on homes. It's spring.
right.
Home values are great, and there's a lot of buyers. You know, did 10% of buyers, are they putting it on hold? Fine. We had too many buyers in the first place. So there's still plenty of buyer demand for the homes. It's a great time to look into moving.
Good. Well, this has been great. I guess I can't think of anything else. Anybody else commenting or saying anything right now?
Looks like Brianna says Greg's team says hi.
Okay. Yeah.
No other questions.
Well, good. Well, and feel free, you know, to contact any of the Cornerstone reps or to contact you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we'll
they'll give
have
you our
all of your information.
Yeah.
What is your website? If you want to put that out there. And
No
then,
problem. My name is Greg, and my last name is C-O-W, like a cow, and then A-R-T, like art class. Cowart is how you say it. So it's just gregcowart.com.
Great.
And our information's there too, and you can either start with me or start by calling one of the sales reps in the models. We'd be happy to help.
Absolutely, yes. And our sales team's available. Everybody's in the office and working safely with COVID procedures in place, and happy to meet with people either virtually or in person privately. So,
We do have one question coming in.
Sure.
Should buyers have some urgency to purchase before the upcoming election?
That's a great question. You know, there's a lot of talk about election cycles and how that might affect mortgage rates. And if you look historically, there may be some correlation of some movement based upon who might win and which party might win and what happens. It's minimal. And additionally, with all of the easing of money that's happened, Caroline, I don't really feel like the outcome of this election should really shape money, because it is so loose, it is so relaxed, there's such access to it. You know, we're looking at interest rates in the mid-3s, and there's a lot of people forecasting that we'll be a lot lower than that, even to consistently in the low 3s. And I personally think that should stay that way well through the end of the year, regardless of the outcome of the election. Great question, though.
Good. Anything else?
That's it.
Awesome. Well, this has been fantastic, and as we've said, you know, please reach out to our sales teams in the offices, and they'll be happy to put you in touch with Greg Cowart and his team, or any of our other preferred lenders, with the phone call, virtual, bomb videos, all this great stuff.
It's easy.
Loom, Zoom, there's all kinds of fun ways to connect now, and everybody's just kind of totally embraced it, and it's been really fun.
Yeah, it has been kind of fun. Yeah, it's a unique time.
It sure is, and I know we've enjoyed being home with our families, so
yeah.
it's good to see you today.
Well,
Thanks
thank
for
you
coming
for having
out.
me, and thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you.